right, let's get this thing started.
Native America Calling is produced in the Annenberg National Native
We'll get
Voice
started in a
Studios
second.
in Albuquerque, New Mexico, by Kiwanis Broadcast Corporation, a Native nonprofit media organization. Funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, with support from the Public Radio Satellite Service. Music is by Brent Michael Davis. Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
Support by Ramona Farms. Scoop Dash. We are pleased to share traditional heirloom foods, wonderful additions to your family meals. For more than 40 years, Ramona Farms has revived ancient traditional foods. Tepary beans, pinole, traditional wheat flours, cornmeals, polentas, and more, delivered to your door from store.ramonafarms.
Is brought to you in part.
Hey everybody, welcome to MCAT Radio. I'm Scott.
And I'm Neil.
We're here to talk about everything related to MCAT, Missoula, and beyond as we go for the hour-long lunch break for you guys getting out there, doing your lunchy things. You're listening to 101.5 KFGM. Mm-hmm. You're also listening to MCAT Radio, which we'll also reproduce, and we've been putting it up on our YouTube page. We literally just started it and dumped a bunch of our old content on there as well, so you guys can subscribe to us there as well. Not to mention we have our replay on the MCAT channel every Monday night at 11, and then every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. So you can actually watch us on cable Spectrum channel. So yeah, let's talk about.
It's the lunchtime hour.
Yeah, what are you gonna have for lunch?
Oh, I'm probably gonna go get some pizza.
Pizza sounds pretty good for sure. I definitely had a big breakfast, so I usually try to skip lunch if I can, and then I usually have a big dinner later on.
I just had a Dutch baby for breakfast. Actually.
Nice. What's that?
They're also called German pancakes.
Ah.
You kind of bake them in the oven. They're really good. You should look it up, actually.
Okay, I will for sure.
Yeah, but they're super good. They're fluffy and yeah, it's pancake adjacent, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. I see. It definitely has like some interesting little patterns on it for sure. Because because you know like when you see like those kind of like hot cakes that the Japanese make, those get really thick, like a
and
full
smooth.
like it looks exactly the way a cake should be.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. But yeah, let's talk about some of the opportunities and other things that MCAT provides for the community. Do you want to lead the way?
Yeah. Tonight we've got Blender Workshop. If you want to learn 3D modeling or 3D animation, come on down to MCAT in the Missoula Public Library between the hours of 6 and 8, and I will teach you how to do 3D modeling and animation.
Yeah, and while we're at it, we also have podcast lessons that we do on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and also Thursdays at 2 p.m. We have editing lessons, which we hold on Wednesdays. If you can't make it to our 2 o'clock, we also have a 6 o'clock appointment. You can drop in or you can sign up online at mcat.org.
Yeah.
But it's easier to sign up on mcat.org so we know to be ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, just talk about some news and things related to this and that. Looks like they're doing a comic book inspired by Superman's Doomsday by making Death of Godzilla comic book.
Death of Godzilla?
Death of Godzilla. And
haven't they done that before?
Yeah, but, he never really dies, but I think this is supposed to be, like, one of those big things that they're going to move forward.
But then they also did, like, Godzilla Ultima, where it's like, he can't die.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, extra dimensional Godzilla.
Yeah, but I kind of buried the lead as in, like, the main part of the thing is that artist Dan Jurgens, who did the actual cover for Superman Doomsday, with the Superman cape kind of blowing in the wind on a semi-broken stick for people to see, kind of like a cover.
Yeah.
They're basically doing almost the exact shot for shot for the Death of Godzilla one, with Godzilla in the background with his flag in the foreground. I guess it's like an anti-Godzilla force that finally beat him.
I really hope that it's literally just the Death of Superman comic, panel for panel, but they just paint Godzilla in over Superman.
Yeah, so according to the quote from the publishing, the IDF publishing service of publishing this comic book series is that, quote, the story of Godzilla's shocking downfall will unfold January 6th, 2026, when the writer Tim Shealy and the artist Nicola will bring their first major arc to a close in IDW publishing Godzilla number 6. So it looks like 6 issues to kill Godzilla.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening on that end. And also, if we're talking a little bit more about that kind of entertainment news, Xbox technically is finished in terms of holding out. A lot of their properties are now going to be available for PlayStation 5 and other consoles as well. I know that people have been saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 has been powerful enough to handle a lot of those powerful games, essentially. I mean, especially the ones from 10 years ago. But if you've seen a couple of the ones from 10 years ago compared to some of the games you see today, there's not much difference if you really think about it.
We've not that graphics can't get better, but like there's not the same generational leap in quality that there was back in the day. Like PS2 to PS3, that was a big leap.
Yeah. And Uncharted 4.
PS1 to PS2.
I mean, Uncharted 4 is a great example of a game that's been out for over a decade now, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, its physics are great. You can interact with anything and everything. Most things you can.
Yeah, well, and, video game physics have been great for like 20 years. Half-Life 2.
Yeah. And see, it's like one of those things. Those are like the finite details they got to work on just so they can get it through. And imagine those kind of sandbox universes with the GTA 6, which is supposed to come out in March of 2025.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of those things. It was like, you got to make sure that the water effects work just right.
The water.
The water effects.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Of course, we've got Halo Campaign Evolved officially revealed.
Yeah.
Coming to PlayStation for the first time in 25 years. The first time ever. Yeah.
Yeah, so, this is a part of the article by Push Square, and, they're talking about some of those things as well, just talking about a lot of stuff with, following the acquisition of Blizzard, Microsoft bean counters imposed a 30% profit margin target on the division. This, according to those who know, is far above the industry average between 17 and 22%, so quite a significant difference in percentages usually wind up being those billion-dollar deals for sure. But it also claims that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which launched several months ago to Xbox and PC, sold best on PlayStation. Yeah, so those kind of concepts of Xbox exclusives and content and stuff like that. It also reminds me of how like Sony was teetering with the idea of launching their own streaming services like Netflix, but then they realized that if they sell their properties to different things, they're able to make a lot of money and stuff like that.
Streaming service.
They're also the big proponents on creating K-pop Demon Hunters, which has become literally like the biggest phenomenon over the summer and continues even forward. I mean, we even have that new single that just dropped by one of the lead singers of the fake pop band who is using this to get some good exposure for sure. So you never know what's going to work until it works, and you never know who the best way to collaborate with. And we've had some interesting collaboration with artists just in general, but I think just with Sony and everything like that is pretty interesting. And I think from what I saw in another article, apparently they're going to be doing another Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Yeah, Mitchell's versus the Machines.
It's one of those movies that most people slept on just because it was going to come out in theaters, and then it was just kind of silently released on Netflix.
Shunted over to
It really was.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very great, great movie. Has all the beats that you'd expect from the Sony animated movies. So if you like the whole K-pop Demon Hunters, you'll definitely like Mitchell's vs. the Machines, and it's very family oriented for sure.
Family.
Yeah,
family.
Big on family. So it's a recommendation from us to check out that, and it should be on Netflix right now.
And they're in a car for most of the movie, so it's really like Fast 15.
Yeah.
What movie are they on now?
The Fast and Furious franchise. I think they're going on their 12th one, or maybe they did do the Fast X one. I did see that in theaters. Fast X, and then they did another one which they didn't call it Fast 11. They just called it something. But they
had Hobbs and Shaw, the spinoff.
Yep, the spinoff, which. Yeah, it's very interesting kind of how like those kind of movies.
I've actually never watched a Fast movie all the way through.
Well, they get the Chinese market bump.
Oh yeah.
And so that's a big part of their campaign to kind of keep these movies going for sure. But yeah, they get more and more expensive. The actors want more, and you have such an ensemble cast. You have like a lot of big names, a lot of people saying it's like, hey, I'm a bigger name than this person. I'm a bigger name than this person, and then they all compete, and they might get a $1,000 more, but think about all the other jobs in the department that could have easily been used for like CGI and special effects, writing.
Well, they're still making money, so they don't need better writing.
But think of like the best way I've been described for action movies in general is as like all your action set pieces from beginning to end, and then you have all the dialogue that sets up between the action, and so that's kind of what old school action movies were about, was like you're leading to the action, but you also have to come up with what you're going to come up with.
Did you watch One Battle After Another?
No,
I haven't yet. I heard it was really good.
Okay.
Like it's like super audience acclaimed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah,
but
I haven't seen it.
It's one of those movies where it's just like, oh, it's out. Paul Thomas Anderson. He did Boogie Nights. Remember Boogie Nights? Do you guys like Boogie Nights? If you like Boogie Nights, you're gonna love One Battle After Another.
Well, let's talk about some local entertainment. We just went to the haunted house this last weekend. The
As-
Missoula haunted house.
Quotations on house.
Yes, outside.
They moved it outside, but
Yeah.
they had the name recognition for Missoula Haunted House, so they moved it out off to Deshaw Lane. So if you're going up past Elmar and going up
Are
Mullen
they doing
Road,
one on Halloween? I thought they.
I'm not sure, but it seems like they're doing it every Friday, Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m. It's worth a check out, but unfortunately we had to deal with that rain last Saturday too.
Yes,
If you guys saw that rain last Saturday, woo!
Woo.
Man, that's a lot of rain that just like came on down. Like it was so thick that the light would actually reflect off the rain itself.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
Luckily, we made it through most of the haunted house before it started raining too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite scare, Scott?
No. No, I mean nothing really stood out to me. I mean, I did really like the corn maze, and they initially separated us in the beginning. I don't want to spoil too much,
Yeah.
but it was definitely like a mixture of corn maze. You went inside some places, and then you kind of got turned around quite a bit, and then you'd look around. And part of the aesthetic is that you just don't touch the actors.
Yeah.
Just part of the role is just being scared, but at the same time, it's a nice, safe event, and they say
it's a lot of
they
fun.
ask for 12 and up. So yeah. I'm excited. It's like one of those things that there's a lot of people involved with it. A lot of people are passionate about acting and performing and these kind of things. I have friends in Deer Lodge that they put on their own haunted house, which is pretty amazing. And I know that, I don't know if it's for sure this time around, but I heard that they were working with an old closed down clinic, like an old hospital clinic kind of place that they have in their community that they converted into like a haunted house. So so some of those guys might be doing that. Those Cutler Brothers over there for sure. And if you're not familiar with those Cutler Brothers, you might be familiar with Bad Napoleon, who's pretty famous for doing his Instagram, TikTok videos on sports games dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite. So, yeah, he's pushing for some things. He's got like 1.2 million followers. It's kind of crazy how he just kind of blew up. Yeah, I'm happy for him for sure. But, yeah, their family, they do their thing there. It's great. But also...
There's a few of those, like there's the one guy who does like real life Hank Hill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And there's also real life
Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
And he plays Fortnite as muscular Peter Griffin. Like, I've seen a couple of those videos, and it's like, okay, dude.
They're committed. They're committed to their bits.
Yeah. And speaking of commitment, it seems like everyone in New York is fairly committed to Zoran Mamdani. So I have a clip for you guys I want to play from the rally. I actually listened to Rally in New York. I have no connection to this guy. I just think that what he says is like, it feels like he's on message.
I just think he's neat.
And, not to blow smoke into Zoe Zephyr's butt, too, but I really think that a lot of times where I've seen her speak in public, it's like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
It's
she's
like,
a good speaker.
she's a good speaker, very eloquent, and that's kind of what I felt about Zoran Mamdani. That's why I've really kind of connected those dots together, and there's definitely a good coalition going, but I definitely want to give you guys a chance to listen to what he has to say. I don't even have it plugged in. All right, without further ado, here's the clip. All right, there we go.
We went to two of the places that saw the biggest swings to the right. Fordham Road and Hillside Avenue. These New Yorkers were far from the caricature of Trump voters. They told us they supported Donald Trump because they felt disconnected from a Democratic Party that had grown comfortable with mediocrity and gave its time only to those who gave millions. They told us that they felt abandoned by a party beholden to corporations, which asked them for their votes after telling them only what it was against, rather than presenting a vision of what it was for. They told us they didn't believe in a system anymore that did not even pretend to offer solutions to the defining challenge of their lives, the cost of living crisis. Rent was too expensive, so were groceries, so was childcare, so was taking the bus, and working 2 or 3 jobs still wasn't enough. Trump, for all his many flaws, had promised them an agenda that would put more money in their pockets and lower the cost of living. Donald Trump lied. It was up to us to deliver for the working people he left behind. Over the 8 months of the primary, we told New Yorkers how we intended to address that very same affordability crisis. We did not do it alone. This was a movement powered by tens of thousands of everyday New Yorkers who knocked doors between 12-hour shifts at work and phone banked until their fingers were numb. People who had never voted before became die-hard canvassers. Community formed. Our city got to know each other and itself. This, my friends, was your movement.
All right, so that was Zoran.
Yeah.
So yeah, get a little taste of that for sure. You know, a lot of things what he says. You know, of course, especially all the debates he's done, just like dunking on Cuomo left and right, all those zingers, all those like memorable lines left and right, and just kind of like what I make up for integrity, you can never make up for with your experience, kind of thing. It's some really good like hard hitting things, and that seems to be the biggest issue, especially with a lot of the Democratic Party. It feels like at this point it really felt like it were just opportunists, very much like Republicans have been opportunists too. So I'm not
you
saying
get a
one
lot
thing
of
or
career
another.
politicians, and they're going to do what's best for their career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it always feels like they just all this buildup, all this coalition building. It feels like it gets to the point of when they get to office, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm married now. Now what? It's like when people say, "It's like, oh, you're supposed to get married. You're supposed to have kids." It's like, okay, I have married. I have kids. Now what?
It's like bad cinematic universes. It's like, oh, something's coming. Something's coming.
Exactly.
Oh, it's here. It is.
Yeah, I mean, we've been basically living with like entertainment and politics and everything like that, where it's like, oh, let's look forward to the next thing rather than enjoy the thing that we have. So it's very interesting about that. But it's like any politicians, they're always going to say what they want to do. And then they get in there, and there's a certain level of reality that they have to deal with, because it's not just them being able to do everything on their own. And, I think a big part of it, too, is that there's a lot of people that are backing him. A lot of people are supporting him. A lot of people are excited to kind of see where this is going and whether or not this is going to be a flashpoint for a lot of people in the Democratic Party to kind of revitalize it. Maybe even have, like, what some people are calling, like, the Democratic Tea Party movement, where there's a lot of more radical Democratic progressive types kind of getting into politics and just trying to be like, we're not okay with this contract with the Democratic Party being moderate, because that was kind of like the, in my opinion, is kind of like what the Clinton era was like he went more moderate to appease across the board and work with the other people.
And was chasing the popularity of Reagan.
Yes, exactly. Reagan, the mind and the people, like, you listen to Reagan.
Reagan was really popular.
And he was really eloquent. Like, he was one of the few presidents that, like, not only had sweeping, but a majority of the states were all in his favor.
Yeah.
It was insane just how much he just blew past everyone.
Yeah.
But, it's like one of those things is like, and also, if we're talking about Reagan too, like, I think it was very interesting that, with everything that happened with Canada, they had an ad about Reagan, and when he's talking about tariffs.
Yes.
And I actually found a clip online of him talking the whole speech that they took from. Like everyone's saying it's AI, everything like that, but it's actually not.
No, it's just clipped.
It's clipped from a certain section of his speech, and it wasn't altered at all. It's very much like from beginning to end what he's talking about, some of the consequences of having tariffs, but the necessity of putting in tariffs for smaller scale, but at the same time that also could hurt the American consumer. So, which is a big part of that too. So I'll bring that clip a little bit later, but I want to break some things up with some music for you guys. Here is just the two of us, Bill Withers.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just
great, but mark it on front.
Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, not for those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know.
Okay. So, is there any thing you want to talk about when we come back? Do you have some Reddit stuff?
Yeah, I was seeing if there were any good posts here.
We could probably talk about that Reserve Street. That's pretty fun. And some people are actually asking people to go out and trick-or-treating into their neighborhoods, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the pandemic started 5 years ago. Like, we could get some more trick-or-treating, I think. I miss the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, do you not have any trick-or-treaters?
No, we don't get any trick-or-treaters.
At that house?
No.
Oh, okay. It might be different this year. It's like right there out in the open.
No, like the last... Oh, this was our third Halloween in that house.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jeez.
The last two, we got...
I always forget that you've been
I
living
think
there
we
for a
had a
while.
total of 3 trick-or-treaters in the entire time we've been there.
That's too bad. I guess you just have to get a single bowl of candy and then just...
Right?
Or honestly, just get a little sandwich bag and take some of the candy from here and be like, okay, we'll just get a sandwich bag size and then that's what we'll do. I mean, nobody comes trick-or-treating in our neighborhood.
No.
No, my neighborhood's like super gated.
Yeah.
Even though it's not gated, it's just there's a gate and there's only one entrance and one exit essentially.
Yeah. Well, you know, like lots of people have been into the trunk or treat lately.
Yes. We can talk about that too if you want to talk about.
We'll talk about trunk or treat.
Yeah, we
versus
can talk
trick
about
or treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things were better when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, it really depends because, you know, some people go to, like, the neighborhoods, and then, like, I always feel it's kind of funny that a lot of, like, non-neighborhood kids show up in other neighborhoods for candy.
Yeah.
Which is not like it's a big deal or anything like that. I understand.
Why should my candy tax go to these other neighborhoods?
Exactly. So that's something to really think about, too. It's just like, you know, there's like, why am I paying for these illegal kids eating my candy? What do you mean illegal kids? They don't live here. It's like they live in town. It's like they live in that neighborhood. That neighborhood's bad. This neighbor's good.
That's a bad neighbor. I got the good neighbor.
All right, so that was Bill Withers, just the two of us. So, yeah, some stuff with that as well. We're talking a little bit about Halloween. This Friday is Halloween. What a great day to have a Halloween, right? A
Yeah.
Friday, 31st. Downtown Missoula is definitely one of the places that if you're worried about, like, drunk driving, be safe out there, folks. Just saying, just be safe, be smart, know what you're doing.
What is this, some kind of witches gathering? Just kidding, happy Halloween.
So yeah, we're gonna go to Neil's place for a nice little party, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Nice a bunch of movies and shorts. I told you that we wanted to watch Christian Ackerman's Midnight Mansion. If you guys get a chance, you can watch it on YouTube for free. It's about a 20-minute short where he messed with puppets and really low quality videography. I highly recommend it. It's always fun.
Yeah, sounds like Spectrum, Missoula's, the science center here is doing spooky science
Nice.
on Friday.
Yeah, what are they going to be doing specifically with that?
I don't know, just spooky science.
Yeah, sometimes like
Probably
especially
some electrodes.
Yeah, and I remember when the zombies were really big, they tried to tie in like brains, so they
Yeah.
had some brains
They
donated
still
to
have some, I
Spectrum.
think, yeah.
Yeah, so they got some cool stuff there too. So don't sleep on Spectrum. Spectrum is a great science exhibit kind of place, and it engages kids with science, even the little kids, to be more aware of their surroundings in the natural world and play with some of their ecology tables and
Yeah.
water
Is this
tables.
the year trick-or-treating makes a comeback?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because all I know is that no trick-or-treaters come in my neighborhood.
Why should buy candy?
And then of course you have those. Of course, you know, there's always kids that go to other neighborhoods. It's
I
like,
would.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to the rich neighborhood to
when
get
I was
big bars of
trick-or-treating, I
candy.
lived out in Florence, so of course I went to other neighborhoods. What am I supposed to do? Walk over to the next farm over?
Yeah. I mean, and also just be aware, like people are going to be, like, if you live in places and, like, Halloween is kind of like one of those things where people knock on your door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're so used to being like, oh, we don't knock on each other's doors as much anymore, except to sell us
In
stuff.
the last 4 or 5 years, trunk or treating has gotten a lot more popular.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more.
Like it's supposed to be. They say it's a safer alternative, but the thing is trick or treating is really not that dangerous. You go with your kid.
Yep.
You go door to door. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the whole concept of what if, and what if is a very powerful thing for a lot of people.
That's why local news stations every year go, oh, there's drugs in the candy, there's razors in the candy.
Yes,
that happened once, and it was a guy targeting like his own kid.
Right.
And that's messed up.
That is really messed up.
But it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to try to harm as many people as possible.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. There's a couple bad apples.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be, bobbing for them.
Yeah. People love trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, trick-or-treating is great. There's some great fun to be had. The library had our own fun festivities here at the Missoula Public Library for our trick-or-treat. We had a bunch of candy stations in here as well.
We did an enchanted fairy village in the studio.
Yeah, if you got a chance to see it, it was definitely one of the selling points to the parents was like, it's the quietest place in the library.
Finally, some peace.
Yeah, a couple of people came out and says like, oh, it's so much soothing in there. I was like, okay, I'm going to use that.
That was the ambience that I put on, like the musical
yeah,
ambience.
Yeah, nice little forest, mystical kind of forest background. We also had like a little fun task for the kids to count how many of the fairies were kind of scattered throughout the studio. They weren't well hidden, but they were just kind of there.
No, but it's like little kids.
Yeah, little kid stuff. You want to look for things and stuff like that. And speaking of looking for things, the library does have scavenger hunts. So you can ask a library staff member if they have any information, and you can bop around the library and have some fun while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's always a lot of great activities, especially Read Dogs is definitely one of my favorites that they do Tuesdays. It's for, those dogs that are going to be those safety companion dogs, those specialty trained dogs to help them, acclimate to multiple people, stressful situations, and being able to help the people who have disabilities.
Yeah.
So some fun stuff like that. So it's a great tool and regiment for that. For Read Dogs, highly recommend.
Do you believe we're almost to the end of 2025?
Yeah. Oh man,
just a couple
2025.
months left.
It's crazy. It's happening. We're barely out of October now.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Well, and then comes one of my favorite days, Public Domain Day.
Public Domain Day. What public domain movies are coming out?
Yeah.
We'll find out next after this. All right, now we can look up.
You should play some spooky, scary skeletons.
Oh, that's true. We probably should be playing spooky music.
You can let this one play through.
Yeah, I know. I'm already playing it.
Well, and then go into something else directly.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, right. Should I just do the spooky, scary skeleton dubstep version?
You can do that.
Okay, I'll do that one.
Oh, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay. Let's see here. Public Domain Day, January 1st. Let's see what we got here. Let's see.
Body and Soul, Georgia on My Mind. I Got Rhythm.
Do you got the
These are all
movies?
songs.
Do you got the list?
I'm on Wikipedia right now.
Oh, okay. Domain Day.
Okay, here's some. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is pretty old.
Bing Crosby's film debut, King of Jazz.
Okay. Oh, the earliest version of Betty Boop will enter domain this January.
Hmm.
It'll also be the first time since 1977 that a new decade of work, the 1930s, will begin to uniformly enter the public domain in the United States. Wow. Yeah.
Animal Crackers, starring the Marx Brothers.
Okay. Oh,
Soup
wow.
to Nuts, featuring an early iteration of the Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the early iteration stuff is all over the place. I know that the Three Stooges definitely, I felt as though they were like definitely shopped around in different studios.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Juno and the Paycock.
Peacock?
No, it just says Paycock.
Oh, okay. Weird.
P-A-Y.
Okay.
And the other Alfred Hitchcock movie, Murder.
Right. Oh, Hitchcock, yeah. I'm seeing a lot more Hitchcock around.
The 1930 Mickey Mouse cartoons entered the public domain this year as well, including Pluto.
Which one?
Pluto, the dog.
Oh. That's in public domain?
Will be.
Nice. Yeah, because the mouse thing, it's not technically Mickey Mouse, but yeah.
The Maltese Falcon, the novel.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that's, we can make our own iteration, but of course, what's his face? God, I'm just blanking on his name. Oh, well.
The Yellow Knight of Oz was published in 1930.
Which one?
The Yellow Knight of Oz.
Ah.
I mean, honestly, you just got to look up things that came out in 1930,
Right.
because that's
Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure.
no 1925.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Tintin.
Oh, Tintin.
Yeah, who's entering public? Yeah. Okay, so now Mickey Mouse. Where he dances our iconic white gloves. So later iterations of Mickey Mouse. Hey guys, welcome back. You're listening to MCAT Radio on 101.5 KFGM. So we're talking about public domain. So let's
Going into it.
the highlights now is, of course, Popeye the Sailor, created by E.C. Seeger. Popeye debuted in the Thimble Theater comic strip in 1929.
Yes, but this is only the earliest version of Popeye.
Exactly. Complete with his gravelly voice and sailor swagger, is free to reuse starting in 2026. So pretty much full-blown Popeye right now.
Yeah.
So Tintin, Tintin, the British adventurer, very popular. Its boy reporter first appeared in La Petite Victime. I totally butchered that. In 1929, the earliest adventures, including Tintin and the Land of the Soviets, will be open to reinterpretation. So, those Soviets, you got all those Reds. No, just kidding. And then, of course, Mickey Mouse, following the 2024 release of Steamboat Willie into the public domain. Additional 1929 Mickey animations where he dons his iconic white gloves and speaks for the first time will be available in public use in 2026.
Yeah,
so
and that was Walt Disney doing the original voice.
yes.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there's another one. Let's see, literary works, which includes the Sound and the Fury, and Hemingway: A Farewell to Arms, join the public domain 2026, alongside Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, and Steinbeck's Cup of Gold.
Oh, don't forget the original Betty Boop.
Yes. But that's more of the early iterations, so they're kind of following the same route as like Mickey Mouse, so the original design of Betty Boop, not the iconic version. So
yeah,
still look out for that
Betty Boop, and also All's Quiet on the Western Front.
yes, a big literary work by a former German soldier.
Yeah.
Was
well, this
writ-
one's the movie version, actually.
Oh, that one too?
Yeah, the original movie.
Okay. Nice, because I know if you guys get a chance to see, the original movie is great on its own, but the new rebooted one is so good.
Yeah.
It's insanely good, and the way that they depict war, it's just like they're just running into the battlefield. Some of them, like many of them, just get killed, and it's just all luck that any of
And now
them
you
survive to
can
that
make
point.
your own All's Quiet on the Western
Yeah,
Front.
I mean seriously, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. You can readapt, do all that kind of stuff, and at the same time, it's like a lot of old IP definitely has that status around it for sure that
Yeah.
helps people bolster their own careers.
This is going to open a lot of dubbing stuff opportunities for you. So.
Well, I'm not looking to get money for dubbing stuff first and foremost, but
Right, but I mean,
it's
like
a fun
YouTube
little thing that I
bots.
do where I do voices to overdub old movies that are in the public domain or old enough or movies that are just basically just kind of being like, oh, we're just signing into the public domain because we don't care anymore.
Yeah. You should do one for Monos,
Monos?
The
Okay.
Hands of Fate,
Okay.
because that is way more recent, but the guy actually forgot to put a copyright notice on it, and it's public domain because of
Nice.
that.
This week I'm probably going to be doing a old French one, Beau Ideal, which I did a scene where like it's like a French Foreign Legion camp, and I did like an iteration of like, okay, so they're all getting together to play Red Rover. So there's your teaser for Friday. So
Well, if you think about it, speaking of Monos, it's already kind of dubbing stuff because all of the audio is done through ADR.
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And you got guys like, I am Torgo. I am Torgo.
Also, somebody posted on the old Reddit today about them wanting to ask Kim Jong-un to bomb Reserve Street. As somebody who is like, I don't condone bombing or anything like that whatsoever, just so you guys know, but if you've been listening to the show at any time, you know that for the fact that I am not a big fan of Reserve Street.
Bomb that street.
No, you don't say that. You're not supposed to say that.
In a metaphorical way.
Yes, in a metaphorical way, not in a real way.
Yeah.
You're giving me a heart attack, Neil.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft, sure. Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, but like it. I appreciate it, but I also was like, nah, but it's also so ridiculous. It's probably never gonna. It'll never happen. Never. Never happen. All right, I probably shouldn't have brought that up. Moving on. Yeah, so somebody just posted an hour ago. They're looking for the best sandwiches in town. So what's the sandwich game in Missoula? What do you think out there?
Oof, Subway.
I remember when I was in college, somebody would, when Jimmy John's had their big thing about delivering directly to the person rather than it being just at a location, they
right.
do it anywhere. That was kind of like the openings of like DoorDash for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was a big part of it too. I just remember it was such a gimmicky thing that one of their students, it was only like one or two of them that was so regular about it that was like, oh, there comes their Jimmy John's again.
Well, Warden's sandwiches are pretty renowned.
Yeah, I've had a couple of their sandwiches. They're pretty good for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of bread.
I've never been to Doc's.
Doc's, yeah, they got some good stuff over there.
They're soup and sandwiches.
Nice soup and sandwiches. Yeah, there's
Of course,
that's
Calypso
actually
just opened up on Front Street.
that's true. Yeah, I had a grilled cheese from there not too long ago.
Yeah, how was it?
It's fine.
It's a grilled cheese.
It's grilled cheese. You can't do anything wrong with a grilled cheese. But and then of course, I do notice that there's some good toasts and stuff that they sell. I know that Black Roasting Coffee Company has some really good toasts there.
Yeah,
well,
okay, so I don't think they sell the toast at their main location anymore. I think you have to get the toast from Base Camp.
Oh, okay.
Which sells Black Roasting Coffee
Yes.
Company. Because that was a Black Roast location, and now it's not?
Yeah,
But they still sell the coffee. I don't know what's up with it.
it was very interesting.
I don't know what the legalese is there.
I don't know. For me, like sometimes, we can just speculate. You want to speculate?
It was taken over by gnomes.
Yes. Gnomes in a trench coat stacked on top of each other.
Yes, I would like to work the coffee shop.
Would you like some gardening tools too? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm my other job.
And the gnome from like the middle of the trench coat's like, I would also like to work the coffee shop.
And then James McAvoy comes in and is just like, I'm Gnome from Gnomeo and Juliet. Remember those movies?
Gnome alone.
Yeah, those movies are weird.
Why have we been bringing those movies up so much to each other?
Because it's important, Neil. This is important hour-long content that we're providing the city
No,
of
but
Missoula.
like for the last week and a half, we've been bringing those up.
Yes, and I'm gonna keep bringing up right now.
Oh boy.
All right. If you're playing the if he does
Spider-Man, gnome coming. Spider-Man, no way, no.
So if MCAT Radio does a Seinfeld, you have to take a shot.
Not on the road though.
Of course not.
We heard MCAT Radio and KFGM. Do not condone drunk driving.
You listen to 101.5 KFGM. If you want to learn more information, go to 1015kfgm.com, or you can go to MCAT.org for more related content in broadcast television, as opposed to radio. We're a community radio where we help people make their own radio show. But the most times, the biggest obstacle most people have to face is coming up with a 30-minute pilot pitch for their own radio show. And then all they got to do is show up and do their radio show after they get approved.
I have a question for you. If you were a big pharma CEO, what would you direct your company to make? What kind of new medicine?
I would probably, I'd call it an allergy pill for people who want to buy islands.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know, for people who are rich and can afford to buy islands, we will say that there's an allergy pill to help offset those challenges of living on an island.
I'm gonna make like a really niche allergy pill. It's gonna be like, oh, do you go into the shower and sometimes there's like a shaving cream there that makes your hands all itchy? That happens to me.
Oh, we're gonna stop that.
We're gonna stop specifically that reaction.
Yeah, and we need to have like a Blender 3D bad animation of renderings of how like allergy blocks the what's that called, the cell response for
I'll
those
call
things.
it suppressin.
Yep, suppressant. Or what's a shaving cream brand? Barber Sol Not. Not on my hands. I don't know, something like that. You know, they always have these like long convoluted names for a lot of these chemical things, and then they just basically have their simple name for just like easy to grab off the tabletop and shelves. And it's kind of crazy. Like I always think about those kind of things where if you had a grocery store, the competition between like who has the shiniest label, or whose label deserves to be on this shelf, or what kind of lawsuit resulted in it being closer to the end or closer to the middle, depending upon, is like, well, technically the look space, you know, people done studies. The fact that they make so much money that they do studies where it's like, well, let's talk about look space. It's like, where are people going to look for our product as opposed to other people's products? This really feels like a conversation that they would have with like CEOs and folks and all these kind of.
Yeah, Scott, I want you to close your eyes and go into your imagination zone.
All right, I'm imaginating right now.
Aren't you tired of shaving?
Oh God, yes.
Isn't there too much hair in your life?
So much hair. It's
New.
clogging up everything.
New from Medco. I'm not sure if that's an existing company.
It sounds real.
New from Medicine Co.
I'm thinking.
The hair loss pill. This simple pill taken once a day will make you lose all of your hair. All of it.
Yeah.
Down to your eyelashes.
Okay. Nice. Okay. You know, we'll call it alopecia. Have you taken your alopecia shot today?
Your alopecia.
Yeah. And you have to put it in like the bottom of your feet. It's like, what does that have to do with my hair? It's like, no, you have to put it in the bottom of your feet.
All your hair.
Yeah, you got to put it in the bottom.
It's head hair.
Yeah.
It's eyebrows. It's armpit hair. You don't have to shave anything anymore.
Yeah, it's like your delivery methods have to be where your left hand has to go around the back and you have to stab it into your spinal column so you can get that sweet, sweet spinal cells.
Yeah, you'll come out looking like Neo from The Matrix when he first wakes up in the goo sack.
Yes, where your muscles have to be reconstructed from the very beginning. Because that's the crazy thing about that movie is like you're basically in a pod
Yeah.
and you're just a jellyfish.
You're just like super atrophied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you grew up not being able to use muscles that you've never really had.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to think about. Like I'm really happy that they thought about that in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that, like Matrix, for all it's worth, is very like at least it's somewhat realistic to a certain degree.
Okay, time to take off my regular glasses and put on my nerd glasses. In the original draft of the script, it wasn't supposed to be batteries that they weren't harvesting energy. They were using human brains as computing power. But executives thought that would be too confusing for a general audience that didn't understand computers.
Yeah, I honestly think that the brain is probably the most powerful thing that can be used.
Yeah, well, it's like. Yeah, the most powerful computing machine we have access to, and it runs on less energy than a light bulb.
And yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like the human brain collectively, the efficiency of it. Just like look at what we've done just by pure competition alone.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if all our brains managed to all kind of sync up and start working together like ants.
Yeah.
Imagine the kind of things we'd be able to accomplish like that. But
anyway, Neil Blomkamp's Zygote is a short horror film because that's basically the plot of Zygote.
Zygote is a great 20-minute short film. It's kind of like the end of a horror film.
Yeah, it's very aliens.
Yeah, it's Neil Blomkamp, and he's the one that did District 9, which is a great allegory for refugees.
Yes, and a lot of elements of District 9. Sorry, I still have my nerd glasses on.
Of course.
Were recycled from a scrapped Halo movie that Neil Blomkamp was supposed to direct. Before him, though, Peter Jackson was supposed to direct.
That's true. They've been bouncing around for quite a bit, and I know that, especially at that time, Microsoft was at its peak with all the Halo games.
Honestly,
and
I'm
everything
surprised
like
they
that.
weren't able to pump out a Halo movie.
Yeah,
at the time.
but then they finally found somebody willing to help them do it, and that was with Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And then Paramount did 2 seasons of Halo.
And quit. Now it's on Netflix.
First season, I watched the first season. It happened, and then the second season started. And it had a good start, but then it just went back into its old thing of like, oh, let's look forward to the next thing rather than focus on making the thing that you're making right now good. So, yeah, we're back to that again.
Like 2 seasons, and they didn't even get to the first, like the plot of the first Halo game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, it's called Halo. Get to the Halo.
Yeah, come on, let's do the Halo, Mr. Halo.
There's a big ring in space.
It's
called a Halo.
Exactly. I'm Mr. John Halo, and I say Halo is now on PlayStation 5. Is it a new game that they're making?
So they're remaking the very first game,
Okay.
Halo Combat Evolved, and they're calling it Halo Campaign Evolved. Yeah, I knew that'd be your reaction to that.
I'm going to play Aretha Franklin to feel better. And I'm going to say a little prayer just like her. Yep. Combat Evolved.
To Campaign Evolved.
Campaign Evolved.
But you know how much they like to keep that CE abbreviation? The first time Halo came to PC, for Halo Combat Evolved, they called it Custom Edition.
Oh.
So it's Halo Custom Edition.
Ew. No.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, today should be easy with those Zootown kids, for sure. We're just going to set up some stop-motion stations. We'll also have a computer with the raw footage of our live action that we were doing.
Yeah.
And we'll get a little bit more time to get kids to kind of mess around, do some things. Because I remember we tried to do the same thing a couple weeks ago. I mean, like the last session we had where we just had to try to do stop motion, but then they were all kind of focused on their live action movie that they wanted to complete. So I'm like, I was happy that they were wanting to do it. So
Yeah.
we won't, I doubt we'll get it this time. Many of the kids were very reluctant to even film the movie that we were doing. If you can call it something. It feels like it's just a couple sequences of shots and stuff so far.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's the process, and we gotta respect the process of making sure that the kids stay somewhat creative.
The Murder at the Vicarage by Agatha Christie, public domain.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been hearing. Yeah, Agatha Christie. She's about that time too.
As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner.
What about because Mark Twain books, aren't they on the public domain? They should be.
Oh, Mark Twain, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on
That
public
was
domain.
1800s.
Yeah, because I know that Sherlock Holmes, because they have different public domain laws in the UK. which is why we waited so long for the Mary Poppins sequel, because the lady lived a long time, way after Disney died too.
Yeah, in the EU, A Death in the Family is going public domain this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but only in the EU.
Yeah. Because I don't remember that movie, because I remember their famous comedy, Death at a Funeral.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that was remade for the American version with Tracy Morgan and those guys.
Oh, here we go. The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn Keene and the 1930s text version of Nancy Drew.
Okay. Oh, there's apparently there's a movie by Hitchcock that was kind of like his kickoff into like horror thriller. And I really think, well, I wouldn't recommend we'd watch it for the party because it's 2 hours long and it's a black and white Hitchcock movie. And I have nothing against Hitchcock. I just know that it doesn't really have the same kind of entertainment value as our modern sensibilities. So it takes a little bit more patience. But I hear a lot of good things about Rebecca, which is free on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Rebecca seems like it's a pretty decent like story where a lady essentially marries a widower, and the guy is technically, the house is somewhat haunted, and his like wife from beyond kind of starts warning her. And then just like the way that they describe the film is just really well put together in terms of like breathing life into a house.
Yeah.
That just creates a tone overall. And, you know, Hitchcock is always known for his tone. And since this is one of his movies that actually won Best Picture, I think it was his only movie to do it, too.
2028.
You know.
We've got Conan the Barbarian. We've got The First Little House on the Prairie.
Okay, we're coming back in about 10 seconds.
And Brave New World.
Hey guys, welcome back. You're listening to MCAT Radio. So yeah, we're just chatting up a little bit more about public domain stuff. It's always exciting to see some new content on the public domain overall.
Cool stuff in the near future. 2028, Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian, yes, is a big deal for sure, because it's like one of those things that they've tried to remake, try to redo, try to reboot, try to do so many times with this, and it just never really pans out the way that Arnold Schwarzenegger did in the 80s. So it's just such iconic.
Also coming out in 2028 into the public domain, the first Little House on the Prairie books.
Oh, that's awesome.
Specifically,
because
Little House in the Big Woods.
Yeah, that's crazy because there's a lot of like really good content out there, and if you've ever watched Annie with an E, based on the Anne Shirley books, Anne Shirley of Green Gables, you know, they just released an anime, a very Ghibli style looking anime.
Oh, yeah.
It looks pretty good, and it's one of those things that like it's very Canadian.
Yeah.
But it's like coded to be like the turn of the century. It's kind of like a Canadian Downton Abbey kind of feel for it, for what they do. So it's a high recommendation from me. And if you get a chance to see or watch or even read any of the Anne Shirley of Green Gable books, I highly recommend them for sure. Because it's just, you know, a girl who's just, you know, growing up. You know, she's adopted by a family. She's very imaginative for sure. And she, you know, wants to blaze her own trail and be very independent. And being a girl at that era was very kind of hard to do that for sure. Like between her, Pippi Longstocking, and of course Shirley Temple, there were a lot of iconic young girls in that era.
Absolutely. Other iconic ones coming out, Brave New World. Death in the Afternoon by Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah, a couple of Ernest Hemingway's ones, which I mentioned earlier as well. Farewell to Arms is highly recommend you read that one too.
And coming out in 2029 into the public domain, King Kong.
King Kong.
Yeah, because it's 1933.
Wow.
Yeah, so in 2029, you can make your own King Kong movie.
You mean 2029?
Yeah, 2029.
Yes, awesome. Sweet. I'm excited. Let's make our own King Kong movie, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be... But I'm sure if we make him any bigger than he was in the original, that the MonsterVerse will sue us.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of lawsuits, like I am going to play the former President Ronald Reagan about that, you know, that ad that ran in Canada that made Trump furious because he was talking about terrorists and everything like that. Apparently, they're claiming it was AI, all that kind of stuff to coerce people. But I have a clip I'm going to play for you guys. This is going to wrap up our show. It's 5 minutes long. It's Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs. And it's a nice, interesting speech about tariffs and free trade back in 1987. So almost 40 years ago when he made this speech and talking about some of the trials and tribulations of putting in tariffs, and he was reluctant about adding tariffs at the time. So here is his speech. And for MCAT Radio, I'm Scott.
And I'm Neil.
Take care, everyone. Enjoy this clip.
Good friend Japan, which overall remain excellent, recent disagreements between our two countries on the issue of trade will also be high on our agenda. As perhaps you've heard, last week I placed new duties on some Japanese products in response to Japan's inability to enforce their trade agreement with us on electronic devices called semiconductors. Now, imposing such tariffs or trade barriers and restrictions of any kind are steps that I am loath to take, and in a moment I'll mention the sound economic reasons for this, that over the long run such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. But the Japanese semiconductors were a special case. We had clear evidence that Japanese companies were engaging in unfair trade practices that violated an agreement between Japan and the United States. We expect our trading partners to live up to their agreements. As I've often said, our commitment to free trade is also a commitment to fair trade. But you know, in imposing these tariffs, we were just trying to deal with a particular problem, not begin a trade war. So next week, I'll be giving Prime Minister Nakasone this same message. We want to continue to work cooperatively on trade problems and want very much to lift these trade restrictions as soon as evidence permits. We want to do this because we feel both Japan and the United States have an obligation to promote the prosperity and economic development that only free trade can bring. Now, that message of free trade is one I conveyed to Canada's leaders a few weeks ago, and it was warmly received there. Indeed, throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. Now, there are sound historical reasons for this. For those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery. You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group, who forget that more than 5 million American jobs are directly tied to the foreign export business, and additional millions are tied to imports. Well, I've never forgotten those jobs, and on trade issues, by and large, we've done well. In certain select cases, like the Japanese semiconductors, we've taken steps to stop unfair practices against American products, but we've still maintained our basic long-term commitment to free trade and economic growth. So, with my meeting with Prime Minister Nakasone and the Venice Economic Summit coming up, it's terribly important not to restrict a president's options in such trade dealings with foreign governments. Unfortunately, some in the Congress are trying to do exactly that. I'll keep you informed on this dangerous legislation because it's just another form of protectionism, and I may need your help to stop it. Remember, America's jobs and growth are at stake. Until next week, thanks for listening, and God bless you.